Ladies, have you ever felt pressured to be intimate? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had that moment where you thought, I don't want to do this, or I want to have an open conversation about sexual health, exchange recent test results before going any further, and that didn't happen? And then you found yourself in a situation where someone kept trying to change your mind, saying the right things, creating the mood until you finally gave in. Or maybe you weren't fully in your right mind. Maybe you were under some type of substance. You were under the influence and things just kept moving forward. I've been there. The last time I had broke my long celibacy season, I felt that same kind of pressure. Disclosure had already happened. Person already knew that I tested positive for herpes. And I realized later that I had put myself in a situation that wasn't aligned with what I truly wanted. I shouldn't have been alone with the person. I shouldn't have been in that space. And sure, maybe a part of me was curious, but afterwards, I didn't feel good. I felt disconnected and disappointed in myself. But even with that aside, I remember being 14 years old and talking to somebody who was 20. We had only ever spoken over the phone, and I used to speak to this man like I've already lost my virginity. Never met the person, never met him in person until the one day that we did. At the time, I was in high school. My mother would work, so I was always by myself. I was innocent in so many ways. I didn't drink, I didn't use any substances, and I didn't even want to kiss him. But I felt a huge amount of pressure due to our conversations and just with him trying to egg me on, right? I ended up losing my virginity outside of a building next door to my school, being recorded by his friend. And that moment changed me. It wasn't something that I was ready for. I didn't know what to expect. I was scared and I didn't feel safe. Looking back, I see how many times in my life afterwards I had allowed someone else's desire to outweigh my boundaries. I didn't know how to advocate for myself. I didn't know how to say no and mean it fully. But that's no longer my reality. Thank God. I feel like I've done the work. I found my voice. I know what I want. I know what I deserve. And I know how I want to show up in moments of connection. The way I view intimacy now is completely different. I was thinking before all this work I've done on myself, I think my view on intimacy was just looking for somebody to want me. Now I protect my peace. I listen to my body. And I no longer put myself in situations where I find myself betraying my own boundaries. So I want to open up this space and ask, have you ever experienced this? Have you ever felt pressure when you weren't ready? Let's talk about it in the comments.